As far as I can recall, you only get up at this time if you're going on holiday, or you're a milkman, or you're my dad. That's about it.
And if you hadn't already figured it out using your inscrutable powers of deduction by, you know, seeing the bike and watching me put it in the car and whatever, I'm off to do a bike race, would you call it? I'm definitely off to do a long cycle. It's a time trial and it's my first ever 100-mile bike ride. In fact, I've never cycled, so let's call it in kilometres because that's how I do it. It's 160 kilometres. I've never cycled over 120, so it's 40 more kilometres than I have ever cycled in my life. It's early morning. I am actually dreading it because, you know, 5 hours or whatever it's going to take me in the saddle is going to hurt like a... I won't tell you where it's going to hurt, but it's going to hurt. This, to me, again, like with the ultra marathon, like with the marathon earlier on in the season, this is very much stepping into the unknown, a huge unknown for me. I don't know how my body's going to react to this type of distance. I don't know how it's going to feel. I don't know whether I'm going to bonk or anything. So I'm going to take the GoPro with me and let you see what happens to me. And this is part of my Ironman training. These are the types of things that you have to do if you want to go long. Oh man, but I wish I was still in bed asleep. Game changer. I always find this bit the hardest, filming while I'm trying to set up, because I'm trying to think of so many different things that I struggle to engage in actually putting the camera on and talking to it. But I've signed on, got my number. I think it's like a 10-kilometre cycle to the start line, which means it's going to be a 170-kilometre day, not 160 minimum. It's going to be a long one. Well, I'm about as ready as I'll ever be. Better go. Switching to the GoPro. On a chocolate brown Sierra thing bike, I'm quite thick opposite and 4 meters out. I think Ironman filled Thor's handbag stronger than before. Taste treat. Cards for better dishes in state.
Of the way through. Right, 60k in, cardiovascularly completely untroubled, legs are sore, unmentionables, unmentionable. I'll take that, 80k, 280. I'm pretty happy. Been overtaken by loads of people, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe they haven't got to run a marathon afterwards. So, all sorts of weird places that your body just accepts it in the end, and it's like, all right, I'll let you have this, and then I'll get you later, and that's kind of what's happening now. It all hurts, but it's a pain I can deal with. Just 104 kilometres in 3 hours, so about 56k to go. Okay, 120k in. It's hard to know what to say because you're just in pain. I probably have an hour and 10 minutes left of the race. In 10 minutes, I'm going to go to the painkillers with caffeine and a Pro Plus just to perk me up, try and get me to the end. it's you know, I'm in totally unknown territory now. This is all about just finding out what happens to the legs at 121k right now. Things hurt. Things I didn't even know I had on this body hurt. I am 146k in. It's my shoulders that hurt the most. Hang on, someone's coming past. 150k in. The wind is at my back now, so for the last 20 minutes, I've got the wind on my side. Actually, in the last 20 minutes or so, I've felt quite good, which is encouraging. My shoulders hurt the most. So much pain in the shoulders from just being in this TT position all the time. But in general, I'm pretty made up that I'm nearly there. Very happy. I'll see you at the finish.
I survived. Alright, gotta go and give my number back in. And then run. There's something I'm definitely not keen on doing. I now have to do a 15-minute run. Just to show my body what it feels like to run after that amount of time.
It may only be the first 20 seconds, but my legs feel really good. They don't feel painful. Weird. First kilometre in 4:20. Feeling very easy, but I do know there's a saying in Ironman, however fast your first kilometre is, it's too fast. Exactly the same for the second kilometre. 4:21. So odd. I really expected to feel horrible. It doesn't feel bad at all. So, waiting for the crash really.
I may look knackered, but actually it is a few days since I did the time trial, but I think that's a good thing because I needed time to reflect on what I really believe I learned from that time trial, from the day, what happened to me, so that I could feed it back to you. So in my new weekly section of the vlog, which I call Learnings. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to use that actually, but what I did learn from the time trial. The first one is that my brain is the biggest limiter here. It's not my body at all. Actually, in that 170 kilometers I did on that day, it was manageable. It was painful, but I really don't actually think that going long is painless. Even when I did the ultra marathon, when I did the marathon, it all hurt, but it's all a manageable pain. It was my brain that perhaps got up ahead of me and kind of told me it was going to be more painful than it was. My shoulders were actually the most painful part of the day from being in this time trial position for so long. The legs could deal with it. It has been a massive relief to know that I am capable of that type of distance on a similar course to Copenhagen, which is great. Second is my nutrition and hydration strategy worked an absolute treat. Now they need refining, don't get me wrong, but I started a discussion on the Ironman Journey Facebook page and lots of people were sharing information and advice on their setups for their races and ways that I could actually reduce weight or increase efficiency. So I'm going to look into products like Tailwind and reducing the amount of bottles that I have on my bike so that I am even faster, even more efficient. It just gives me the peace of mind that I know that the nutrition strategy I used worked during that time trial perfectly, but I can now play around and refine, see if I can find something that works even better. And the third thing, and probably the best thing for me, is that I was able to run comfortably off of the back of that bike ride. And I'm not saying that I'll be able to run a marathon comfortably, but those first few kilometers really felt absolutely fine. My legs weren't in pain, and that again is such a huge psychological boost for someone training for a really long distance race, to know that it's not going to be agony from the first step. I know there's no getting around the fact that it is going to be quite a dark place for me in there while I'm running it, but it's really great to know that it's not going to start dark, and I'm just going to need to win a mental battle. So there you have it. I hope the video has helped you in some way if you're looking to go long or even cycle long or are thinking about changing your nutrition or hydration strategy. Hopefully this video has helped you in some way refine or change your way of thinking. If it has, what would be great is if you subscribe, because there is going to be plenty more of this documenting my journey through Ironman and beyond, lots of different running events and races, and you can say that you are one of the first 1,000 subscribers when I get to 12 million, which will be at some point in the future. So stick around. Next Tuesday I tutorial my 3 top interval training sessions for running. Have an amazing weekend.